With the Voyager, the Seas docked in Reykjavík in Iceland, we're on a long shore excursion. Welcome to Iceland. Hey everyone, I'm Patrick from Oakland Travel. The Voyager of the Seas was docked in Reykjavík in September of 2022. So we left the ship to go on a nice long shore excursion, about 8 hours. It was the Golden Circle with lunch, and they took us all over the place in Iceland, from Reykjavík out miles and miles away. We were on a coach for most of the day, driving around, and our first stop was this power station, where they kind of showed us and showed off and talked to us about how they take the geothermal energy and produce electricity and so forth. Pretty cool, pretty interesting. Gave us a chance to kind of see how they do things over here in Iceland as opposed to how we do things over in the United States.
Wherever tectonic plates meet, energy can be harnessed by using the same methods that Reykjavík Energy has become an expert in, as a means of generating green energy. Reykjavík Energy's extensive expertise in the field of geothermal energy.
Where we are utilizing a geothermal system to produce electricity and hot water. And this geothermal system that we are kind of tapping into, it exists here because we have a volcano in our backyard. That's the kind of mountain top that you may have seen over there when you drove up here. But what is this geothermal system? It's basically three things. It's a heat source, and that is a magma intrusion or magma intrusions. And then there is permeable rock formations, and then a lot of water in those. And that water is all originally just precipitation, which falls down, seeps through the bedrock, flows in the ground, and when it gets close to those magma intrusions, it naturally heats up. And what we're doing is that we drill boreholes down into the ground. They're usually about 2 kilometers deep, or a bit deeper than a mile. And the temperature there is quite hot. It's somewhere about 300 degrees Celsius, or between 500 and 600 Fahrenheit. So relatively hot. And what we get from those boreholes is a mixture of three things. We're getting steam, geothermal water, and some gases as well. And what we do with the steam is that we use it to produce electricity just by letting it go through turbines, and that then rotates them, and they rotate generators, which produce the electricity. And here we produce 303 megawatts of electricity. So this is the largest geothermal power plant in Iceland by far, and one of the largest ones in the world as well. Even at about 5% of what a coal power plant of the same size in it. So still just a fraction of that, but we want to decrease this as much as we can, nevertheless. And what they did here was that they developed a new method to do exactly that, called Carpix. And the way Carpix works is that these gases that we get from the boreholes, they are separated from all the steam and water. And these gases, they are then dissolved in water. And what you have then is just sparkling water with a lot of geothermal gases in it. And that water is then injected deep down into the ground, where the water reacts with the basaltic rock formations down there, and eventually the gases, they form minerals, such as calcite, for example. And in that way, the gases aren't emitted out of the atmosphere, but rather stored safely and permanently down in the ground as minerals. So we're kind of turning gas just into rock in this process. And you can learn more about this Carpix project on the second floor over there to the right. But then the main exhibition is on the third floor. You can either take the stairs or the elevators. They are on both sides behind the stairs. So now I'm just invited you to go explore. I'll stop at you guys, so enjoy the rest.